Yeah, Jamie's Dream School was a kind of experiment on Channel 4 where we got a number of rather prominent people who aren't teachers really into a classroom with Jamie Oliver and taught a whole range of lessons. So for people who didn't watch it, that's really what happened. And there were different people like David Starkey, myself, Ellen MacArthur, all talking about their own area of interest. I was there to teach science. I mean, I think the kids that we were teaching were, in the main, young people who had consistently failed exams or shown no interest in academic issues, and we were able to demonstrate, I think, very clearly that there was a huge potential amongst these young people that was really worth trying to develop, and we were missing a lot of potential in our society by not educating people more effectively like this. I think the downside, of course, is that the Jamie's Dream School was built on the kind of notion that somehow we would be much more effective teachers than real teachers. And of course, it's very presumptuous for me to come in and teach a science lesson when actually I'm not a science teacher. And I was very conscious of that. And I think that, I had it easy because I had a massive budget to do any experiment I want and so on. And that's not how it works in schools in real life. So that's an immediate deficit in the programme. The other issue, I think, is that, of course, the thing is being televised, and once you have a camera squirted at people, they behave differently, even if it's only imperceptible. But having said all that, I've kept in contact with quite a few of the young people who were in the classroom, and there's no question that they feel that they benefited from the Dream School, and some of them have got jobs as a result of doing this. So I think it's an example of the wonderful altruism of Jamie Oliver, which is one of the reasons why I did it. And I think providing we aren't arrogant enough to assume that we can replace real teachers, what I hope it would do, a program like that, is to demonstrate the value of real teachers and real teachers in difficult environments in schools where people don't particularly want to learn. And I think that that is probably the message, is how we improve that environment, how we actually persuade children who are not learning that it's worth learning. And also, of course, it goes without saying, some teaching is perhaps not as good as it should be, is not as inspirational as it should be, and many children say this, and many of our young people in this programme claimed that they felt that the teaching they'd had was very uninspirational compared with what they had on the programme. So I think it's a complex area. Is Jamie's Dream School the answer to the future of education? No, definitely not. Can we learn something from it? Yes, I think we can. I think we can learn that each in their own way, each of these teachers tended to do practical things with these children. It's an interesting example of practical, in my case, practical science, but Cherie Blair did practical politics with them, as did Alistair Campbell. David Starkey certainly brought out practical history by reenacting certain things historically. And we had a visit to the Globe Theatre, so that they did practical work with Shakespeare. So I think one of the really interesting messages which comes out of that series of programmes, which is actually how we started this brief broadcast, is that practical work in all fields of learning is a very good way of enhancing and improving and underpinning learning.